Welcome back. So let's go ahead and check out, what is this, the disfavored camp. Cool, that tells you right there too. Let's go loot some stuff. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. Glare silently. I love that that seems to keep being an option. I am Tunon's fate binder. Stand aside. Whoa! They got pissed off. So you're the fire starter. Sevius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' edict of fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. It must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. Go on in. The soldier gestures toward the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent center of camp. Alright, let's look around a little bit first. Loot everything, of course. We got a stone shield helm. Oh. Carefully skinned game hang from the branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Ooh, 15 subterfuge. We got mead and grain. Don't really care about any of that stuff. Crescent Runner, you got anything to say? Oh, I can't even talk to you.
I can't.
We got mead again. $30 subterfuge. Hey, we're getting there. We keep increasing our subterfuge. We got, ooh. Plus accuracy. Interesting. And we got a strength thingy. Huh. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell. I wish they'd stayed up longer, of whatever creature they decide to cook. We got a great spear and blood moss. From your vantage point, you see tents trail off, obscured by the... Holy shit, that was there for no time at all. Obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers see you appear somber and the soldiers you see are somber, quiet, calm before the storm. Alright, I'm gonna loot everything first, and then we're gonna... Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Found something over there. Took me a little while to even see it. Gems, it looks like. Yeah, agate and topaz. Barrack. These arrows were fletched with precision and care. Sparring dummy shows the deep gouges of hard use. Hey, nice. The cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. The disfavored insignia has been violently defaced. We got a leather buckler. Spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. The wood used for these carpets is pristine and finely cut. These walls have yet to see battle. Nothing important there. Can't even talk to these dudes. One more thing to loot here with 37 subterfuge. Which,
it's all in the reflexes.
Ooh, we leveled up. Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. So we leveled up here. That's good. Oh wow, endurance, defense, and will defense. So when you level up in combat, you get a temporary boost, it looks like. Let's do it. Attribute points. Each level you increase one of your character's attributes. Increasing an attribute costs 1 point until the attribute score reaches 19. To raise an attribute point from 19 to 20 requires 2 points. And damn, we're 1 subterfuge short to get some of that. Let's see. I'm thinking just wits again for that sweet spell strength. Quickness isn't bad either, though. Yeah, let's just do wit. Max in the wits. Yep, I like it. And I think we have, yeah, skill points here too. Yeah, looks like we could go defense. Don't want it. Power looks like focused on actual combat. There we go. Probably magic. Huh. Oh, agility. Magic. Grants a bonus to. Wow, just plus 10 lore if we wanted. Oh no. The Kappas have arrived. Arcane Charge adds the spell Breached Affliction to thrust attacks. Also grants a bonus to magic skill for a short time after using thrust. Plus 15 to all magic skills. Breached Affliction. Adds the spell Breached Affliction to Fire, Frost, Shock, and Arcane Armor reduced by 5. So that's pretty damn nice. We've got Arcane Charge and Charge Strike. So some AoE. So it does just primary weapon damage. That's nice too, since it does AoE. But I think I like the Arcane Charge here. And we should. Oh, spell creation. I already looked this up a little bit, so I don't think there's anything I need here. It's an interesting system. Yeah, it's fairly self-explanatory, so I'll just skip through all that. Oh god. No, not like this. We got one more spot, let's see. Oh, so let's go ahead, yeah, let's go ahead, inventory. Inventory. I think it was consumables. We've got Lesser Sigil of Strength. Let's go ahead and learn everything we have. Yeah, we already knew this one too. Magic Sigils. Sigil of Distant Impact. And increases the range of the spell. Cool. And these are weapons. I don't think anything better than what we have. That is interesting though. How does that compare to what she's got? Apparently not as good. There's more DPS, but takes longer, I think. What recovery is. And we don't want the two-handed. So yeah, we're good on that. Let's see what we got in the way of. Oh yeah, and we have this, and didn't we grab something else or something too? There we go. See what that is. Okay. Ooh, this looks better. Deflection 1 versus Deflection 2. And that's worth. So yeah, this will go on this dude. And by this dude I mean me. And armor and pierce frost armor, but less recovery and less deflection, so I think I'll leave that for now. Again, less recovery and less deflection. Ooh, that's actually better. +1 accuracy and quicker recovery. Sure, why not? Yeah, so that's not. Yeah, we're good now. Let's see what else we got. Oh my god. Whoops, that's not it. I tend to ignore these. These are the ones that they give you at the beginning of the game for signing up or whatever, and that just feels cheap. Having free items, so yeah, I'm kind of ignoring those. Let's move those down here. I don't even care what they are. Battle-worn torque, +1 vitality. Nice. That'll go on my fighter lady. What does that do? Where do I see health? Oh, health. Okay, so it gave us 5 health, maybe some other stuff. Quickness. That gives cooldown and stuff. I think I'll put that on my mage. Okay, we're good there. Oh, and now let's check out if we can do more spells. Let's do Sigil of Frost. I think I like Frost. And let's try our... So now we can do a ranged version with the Distant Impact. Cool, cool, cool. And we do have accents. We have... Ooh, wow! That's a significant boost in damage. And we can just use it. We have 51 lore, and that puts us to 50. And we can also increase range a little bit, which isn't really worth it. So yeah, let's do Rhyme Spike. Quite high damage. Ooh, longer cooldown though. Oh, it's area of effect too. Can freeze in an area. This looks like a really nice skill. Do you drag it or oh, assign right there. Nice. That's pretty cool. Okay, we got another frost skill. I think I'll leave everything mostly how it is, but might as well add strength to all these for more damage. Yep, we can still use all those. And I could give her stuff if I want to, but I don't really need her to be a caster. But yeah, I'm excited to try out that AoE freeze. Oh, cool. Alright. Alright, and let's talk to some people now. But that's pretty cool. We leveled up, we got spells. Oh, we got a question mark thingy over there too. Isotanius curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't a problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron, the good stuff that comes from the smith in Lethian's Crossing. Have we checked that out yet? Built in the shadow of an old walls junction in the realm of Haven, Lethian's Crossing is a growing trading settlement. The nearby rivers are rich in iron ore, though the locals lack the technology to smelt and forge the element. Yeah, and we have done that. You mentioned an iron shortage? I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Call Crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. I sense a side quest. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotanius flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. I'll just be nice to this dude. You can trust me to handle this. Hey, I know that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous to people, so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for those. Good hunting. Need anything else? No. So we're not a guild apprentice or a soldier. I'd like to see your wares. Alright, just armor. And it looks, just based off the look, it looks like heavy armor. Oh no, it's actually light armor. We got leather armor here. Flexion 11%. Interesting stuff. Wow, it's actually pretty nice. It costs more than we have right now though, so maybe later. Okay, that should be him taken care of.
On it.
Let's go see what else we got here. I think we talked to these guys and they didn't. Yep. Eric, you can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. Whoa, the freeze again. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. Take a look and see if something interests you. How do you come to work for the disfavored? With the disfavored. Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods, most importantly arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Let me see your wares. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Sigil of Frost, we already have that one. Yep. That's what I'm, as a mage, I'm always looking for the spells. Like, let me get some of those spells. So yeah, it looks like a bunch of consumables and weapons, so nothing I need. And Rona. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentabor if you bring to trade. Alright, we are almost done. Here we've got just general people. Yep, just making his rounds. I didn't think we'd be able to do anything there. Yeah, we're almost done here. Almost done here. Almost ready to go into, I'm guessing it's that tent. Horde. Alright. Bitter Quip. Glory to the voices of Nerat. Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder keen, I presume? His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One, her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? Chorus is the future of the tiers. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Nerat. He is supreme commander and public servant, he who sets us free but directs all. The voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be, a magician without equal and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Glory to the voices. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Nerat. He says nothing. Alright. And nothing from you guys. And yeah, it looks like we've got 2 more people to talk to here. I am Lucia. This is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her, and you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? We can ask about them. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. Damn! In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Now we're going to ask Lucia. Lucia, I do this. She unenthusiastically lifted up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon. Insufficient reputation. I know a thing or two about spitting foes who are stupid enough to challenge me. What of it? Wonder what that would be. Guess we'll never know. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Insufficient reputation. What? Wait, is this all a ruse? Did Tunon send you to test the army's training and grit? Because I won't stand for it. What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terratus. Unlike the chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tight-knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm's defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Paris host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? Damn, all this insufficient reputation because I sided with the other guys. I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the Great General's history to outsiders. But you'll say that it involves the Great General, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat! At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. Ooh, they can train us. Marcus, I'd like some training. Of course, Fatebinder. We could do one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, or parry. Might get some parry on her. And, well, if it isn't the Fatebinder. Lucia can train ooh, we might train some athletics. Athletics and dodge. I like her stuff. think we'll leave it for now. Maybe we should just go ahead and level up some athletics and dodge. There, we've got athletics, dodge. What did the other guy train? We don't have a whole lot of rings right now. Parry. So yeah, that would mainly go there on verse. I think we'll leave it for now. And I think that's having now talked to everybody. I guess it's time to go in the tent. Let's go ahead, I think F6, quick save? Yes. Just in case weird stuff happens. This side. Probably a major thing. It's so hot right now. Ugh. There we go. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait, now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling, I need your scouting reports, or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. Oh, that! We will solve it on our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy. After all, mercy? They have already shat upon our mercy once before. These gutterburns South Knobs deserve nothing but something or other. Oh, calm down. We must leave something to rule, or have you forgotten Karas's orders? Patience, old chum. God, I wish the tooltips weren't so going by so quickly. Just in general. And let's see. The battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Right. So we've got Fifth Eye, Iron Marshal, Perennios, and Graven Ash, and Voices of Nerat. And there we go. It's time.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. You hear the voices in your head. Why? Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. Huh. Oh, the voices. It was abbreviated, so I was like, what? So I guess he's talking to us in our mind.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Alright, I'll take your advice. We're just going to remain silent, let them fight.
To say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. You hear the voices in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough if we have your attention. I was just going to remain silent, but we're going to go ahead and let him know.
These tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over.
I love it. They're just like blaming each other. The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
The voices of Narat tosses scepters into the air, catching it as it descends back down. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren. Archon of Song and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voices of Narat, who uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. The Archon flips his scepter 3 times around, humming gleefully. You hear the voices in your head. Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. An excess of knowledge, of curiosity even, can earn unwanted attention. Iron Marshal Irenios, hold your tongue! I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. Fifth Eye. They bicker like children, do they not? The Fifth Eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear. I meant only to say welcome, welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute. And not a moment too soon. You've gained favor with voices of Narat, Scarlet Chorus, Graven Ash, and disfavored. The Queenslayer, sensing your presence, this favored commander snaps into a firm salute. No doubt your presence here will strike despair into the hearts of our enemy. Lord Ash, Lord Narat, our guest is here. We're going to go ahead and glare silently. You've gained favor with Scarlet Chorus, favor with voices of Narat, and royalty with verse.
Such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
Something like that. Yeah, that's where we burn shit.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the words camaraderie. I come bearing an edict, Kairos.
Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the chorus in the taking of the Bastard City. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will?
Alright, let's go with the medium one. Not too nice, not too harsh. It seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in this valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Swords. Why did that piss off Nerat there? Oh well. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tensely phrased commandment. It's every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mitanni. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
Archon of Secrets passes the scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see Blood Echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciplined disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage. Because that's how a real man deals with grief. That's a theory. Go ahead, remain silent
you
here.
It sound like you've been putting even the slightest effort into getting a foothold across the Mitanni, when all you've done is set your gangs to uncoordinated raids. You're the Archon of Secrets. Why is it you still don't know the enemy's full strength and capabilities? Maybe you know, and choose not to share.
Look, if you're afraid to send more troops against the Oathbreakers, just admit that you're a coward and allow us to take charge of the situation. The Scarlet Chorus will be happy to prove it can do what the disfavored cannot.
Let's go ahead and bait him here.
Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
Dang, we pissed him off a little bit. I was hoping since it was subterfuge that it would be like bait him into doing something. The Archon of Secrets turns his head to the side until the face of his mask has turned around and a new facet of the mask presents itself as facing forward. When next the Archon speaks, the booming voice of an older man can be heard.
Cowards! If I were still alive, I'd freeze the blood as it runs in your veins. You may take the river, but you'll pay for it with your lives.
The Archon slaps a hand against his mask, rotating his mask until a new face, a new facet looks forward. The voices of Nerat appears to be channeling the personality of Master Hagravar. Hagravar was one of the elders of the School of Tides, a southern school of water magi that fell to Kairos' forces in 429, during the initial attack on Vendrian's Well. By your order, the Tidecasters taken in battle were presented to the voices of Nerat so that their magic might be integrated into the Archon's ever-growing arsenal of knowledge.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mitanni, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
I know that voice. Master Hagravar of the School of Tides.
Yes,
Hey,
and
cool,
that
we gained
old
some
codger
favor
put
back.
up quite a fight on the way out. Almost turned himself into a puddle to escape our interrogations. He's not the last of the Tidecasters, though. At the time of his death, there was another. A woman named Ebb. We believe she is one of the mages assisting these Oathbreakers.
That's enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, Barrack, though you know him only by name, Barrack is a commander of the Stone Shields and well regarded by the disfavored High Command. Barrack and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements across the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder.
Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign and win peace, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
Before we go, you are owed payment, Firestarter. Our
Ooh, we
spies
gained
at the
favor
Velen
from
Citadel
both.
were nearly cut down by the disfavored. They have you to thank for their lives. Here is a taste of our gratitude.
The Archon Secret tosses a small handful of rings your way as he begins to leave. He taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and with one last twirl of his scepter, the Archon departs with his underling. You hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. Touch the rings. You've gained favor with voices of Narast. We've lost some with Graven Ash. Archon of Secrets lets out a small chuckle as he leaves. Interesting dude.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. Queenslayer, I would ask that you join us in battle, if only for the satisfaction of your presence enraging the enemy. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. I would be honored to help. Give me that quest. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. Cool, more quests. Talking with companions, and oh, we leveled up here. The characters earned enough experience. Fully healed. Yep, all that stuff. And what's this? Talking with companions. Once a companion joins your party, you can talk to them at any time by selecting the conversation icon on their portrait. Each companion who joins you will have important information about the world of Terratus and their own opinions on the factions and situations you encounter. Knowing how they feel about events will allow you to make choices that will build your reputation with each companion. Companions will also interject their opinions into conversations you're having with other characters. How you respond to their statements will alter your reputation with that companion and others in the party. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, right there. I see where it is. Speak with first. Cool, we'll have to do that. Ooh,
I've got it.
sure, let's do it. Hey, subterfuge +1, which I think puts us at what we need. Let's go ahead and grab everything here. And we got one more over here. Another health potion. But yeah, I believe 39. That lets us into both chests that were locked earlier. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people. But when the edict is against your kin, that order you follow to the letter. Aw, now he won't even talk to us at all. I was gonna see if he had anything else to say. Oh well. Oh well. And that'll be a good stopping place for this episode. We'll be right back with another. Thanks for watching. Peace.